decided by tight margins. The general classification of the Santos Tour Down Under, it's rarely big gaps. A few time trials have helped to open up things before. Last year it didn't really help with the prologue because it was so close, but the winning gap Jay Vine had over Simon Yates last year, 11 seconds, 27 seconds back to Pale Bilbao. So bigger gaps I suspect that we're going to have this year. However, that in itself remains to be seen. There's the ochre jersey. So far ridden faultlessly, of course, he and his team. The second division team, the only second division team in this race, the invited pro team that sit outside the World Tour, Israel Premier Tech. Team that has, of course, an Israeli heart, an Israeli sponsor, but also strong Canadian roots as well, Premier Tech being a Canadian company. And there is the man who sits in third on general classification.
Cap's going up. It's going out more.
It's going out
it was
again.
Down at 32 seconds. It's gone up to 39. It's only a handful of seconds. I'm sure they've got it under control, but the breakaway trying to get as much out of this as they can on the easier roads before they start to head uphill again, which is very, very soon indeed.
Yeah, it's going to be fascinating to watch just how close they get. I mean, and even if they do catch them, I mean, I'm presuming they will. We think they will, of course, with 34 seconds of lead. Looking down on Simon Yates with the number 12 on his back, last year's second place finisher. Hey, dearie me, right into a post as well by the looks of it. I hope that's not Johan Price Pedersen again. We'll see who that is when he's turned around. It is. Oh my gosh, it's the last thing he needs in this race.
He was lucky it was that post and not the rock.
Yeah, it's a sort of, oh no, we're going to see it now, aren't we? A sort of flappy, stiff plastic. He's actually fallen onto it, having hit, I think, Mateusz Vacek's bike or back wheel. He's not having a good week, Johan Prost Pedersen.
No, and in the meantime, these guys are definitely giving it a nudge, the biggest nudge they possibly can towards this finish line now. Little look over the shoulder, they'll feel the peloton breathing down the neck. You can see turns starting to miss now. De Bod rolling through, little look over his shoulder. As we see Pipe Pedersen getting back on. Yeah, it's Paddy Bevan, previous stage winner on the left-hand side, number 91, done a lot of the work. Sam Welsford, 3-time stage winner so far in this race. Caleb Ewan, another sprinter just in front of him. And just in front of him, Del Toro.
Hey, Welsford's there, Adam. I think Welsford for the stage. He'll hang on. He'll hang up on here. He'll come over that little rise. Wouldn't that be absolutely wonderful? Incredible. It's not going to happen, I know. But he's doing well, though. I'm presuming there's more riders have been dropped from this group. He looks all right. I'm
wondering why Del Toro's so far back at the minute. You can just see him just in front. There's Caleb Ewan on the left hand side, then just two in front. Number 7 there, the UAE rider.
Yeah,
that is Del Toro, currently sitting in 4th on the general classification at 5 seconds alongside Jonathan Narvaez. I would be a little bit further to the front if I was him on a lead in like this. It drags for a long time, and when you're going up a drag with a tailwind, you have to put out significant amount of watts just to move up. Never mind just sitting the wheels, you're not getting the massive benefit of the draft. Yeah, interesting. He might not be feeling as good as what I thought he might be feeling, or he might just not have the form that he had on the first day. We have to remember he's a young kid still, but he has won the Tour 11 here, so he should be able to back it up day by day. But yeah,
there he is moving up. He's heard you.
As if by magic.
Yeah. He's got our coverage in his ear, maybe. He is Mr. Chilled, though, isn't he, Adam? I doubt there'll be any panic. He seems to be... He's using his head to call up his own teammates. So, hey, how about this? Maybe he went back there to get some of them. He's bringing up Michael Vink. Now, Michael Vink was at the back. You don't think Del Toro's gone down there and gone, hey, Vinky, let's have you up the top. Come on. He's pulled him. He's taking him up himself. bit strange.
No.
I've never seen that before quite like that.
He'll be getting him up to help him at the front.
Yeah,
Like pure and simple. Just come on, mate. You need to come and help me at the front now. I'm moving up. I want to move up. You're obviously suffering, and I'm not feeling that bad. So follow my wheel up, then you can do your job, and I can benefit from that. But yeah, I mean, when you're feeling that good, it's very difficult when you're feeling that good. And if he is feeling that good, imagine if he didn't have to do that. That's the youth in him, that you have to think about these things. When you're feeling that good and you can just afford to move up this, that and the other, if he doesn't win today and he loses it by half a bike length, this, that and the other, you start to analyse it a little bit. They never will analyse it like that much. You say, I got beaten by a quick guy, but if it happens again, you're like, okay, when can I save energy? What am I doing wrong? Where am I wasting energy? Let's really look at the finer detail. You look at the finer detail and you say, okay, with 17 k's to go, I was at the back. Ineos Grenadiers riding, they were riding hard, and I had to make that effort all the way up the side of the peloton for a minute and a half. Instead of doing 300 watts on the wheel, I was doing 450 moving up. Will that be the difference? Possibly, maybe not. Cycling is it's really like splitting hairs with the effort you have to put in now. You know how much goes into equipment, you know how much goes into tech, you know how much goes into wind tunnel testing. All this kind of stuff, it's money spent to make each rider better, faster, perform better. And then he's sitting in the wrong position maybe, and you lose by a bike length or two. That should be scrutinised down to the T. That should be looked upon. That should be analysed. That should be highlighted to the riders that, you could have saved what's here. You could have saved what's there. It's, everything else around bike riding which can be controlled by an expert, a scientist, a coach, will be controlled to the finest of detail. I don't believe within many teams that happens for racing and mistakes. And it baffles me when a team might spend 10 million on tech, whatever it is, wind tunnels, etc., that they don't spend 50 grand on someone telling riders where they're doing things wrong, or just simple things, and it baffles me. And it's a simple thing of putting your numbers on your back. There's riders with flapping numbers on. Is it all the testing that's gone into that jersey to make it as fast as they can? You pin a number on the back, someone can't be bothered to pin a pin on, and they're losing half a watt. That's cost whoever it is, Castelli, 50 grand to make that jersey. And all the testing, everything else with it. So yeah, it's I'm going on a bit of a rant here, I apologise. It's the finer details of this sport, which, as I said, you're splitting hairs through everything that a team can control. It's very difficult.
And of course, if Isaac Del Toro Romero wasn't as good as he obviously is, it wouldn't be such a frustration, because we wouldn't be talking about him. He'd just be rolling around us, making up the numbers in the pack. We know, you all know, you've seen this week just how good he is. Maybe that's I don't know. We'll go on to see in the coming, maybe at the end of this year, we'll look back on this and see whether the laid-back, seemingly quite chilled-out nature of Isaac Del Toro Romero is at odds with, say, a Kian Ulterbrooks, who, from what we hear, by all accounts, is Mr. Detail, Mr. Focused, concentrated, every box ticked.
Ulterbrooks is not a pure racer. He's a scientist on a bike. He's one of these guys that can do mega high numbers. He can do the long watts. He can get everything down to a T. He's not going to race back to the team hotel because he has to do that certain amount of watts. Del Toro is a kid that if he sees someone racing back to the hotel, he'll want to get involved in it because that looks fun. Completely different kind of bike rider whatsoever. And today, but before anyone gets on the high horse on social media saying I'm having a go at Del Toro, Julian Alaphilippe, showing why he's Julian Alaphilippe, just reaching across Onley there to get his bottle. I'm not having a go at Del Toro saying he's making a mistake. In my eyes, he is making a bit of a mistake, wasting that bit of energy there. But that goes across bike riding. There is the best in the world champions. Everyone makes mistakes. It's my job here to scrutinise these riders from my opinion of what I see as right and wrong. And you might disagree with it. You might agree with it. But yeah, that's not directed at anyone in particular. That's as a whole in cycling for a lot of riders within the peloton.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Ineos Grenadiers riders. Don't confuse them with the colour of our hair Samsic who are getting involved here. I also noticed, Adam Blythe, quite a lot of blue jerseys with white M's on. Movistar coming up. So that's possibly the fly in the ointment there, that we're thinking about there being general classification focus teams there. But no, don't worry about that. Their highest placed rider, of course, for Movistar is Ruben Guerrero, who sits 18th on general classification, 42 seconds down. I doubt they're thinking about GC for him, but they might be thinking about the stage win for him, or Gonzalo Serrano if he's there, because let's not forget that if this does come back, it is just another stage. We know there's a general classification acutely poised right up for grabs, but there'll be other teams saying, well, I'm not worried about that, we're here for the stage win, and that's what we're going for. Still 34 seconds though. How long has it been 34 seconds for? Forever, seemingly. We might take that time gap at the moment with a little pinch of salt, but yeah, Movistar are still there, just in that little front bubble, in a line too. So they're up to something, Adam, I reckon.
Yeah, I think you nailed it, Jez. It's just there's a stage win up for grabs, black and white. We've got a bike race on our hands still, we've got the overall, but ultimately we have got a bike race.
It's going to be a cracker too. 12 kilometres to go. We're halfway round this final loop of the Lofty circuit, and way too many riders in here with lofty ambitions of Lofty. That's the first time we've seen that shot. That looks quite unlike anything else we've seen today. I don't remember seeing the flyover there on this circuit, but it is there, obviously. It's going to be a nice opportunity for us to just pan back, tilt back, I should say, and look at the peloton. That almost looks, yeah, maybe that is 34 seconds. They're moving very quickly now. EF coming up. What are they up to, Adam? Is that a bit of getting in the way and spoiling the chase a bit, maybe, or...?
Possibly, it's Owain Doull on the right-hand side with Del Toro behind him, obviously.
Yeah, on the wrong side of the road. He didn't follow me there, so now Del Toro's right in the wind. We may be seeing a little bit of what Adam's talking about here. Del Toro all by himself, having gone back and brought up one of his own teammates, still in the wind, and now you'd hope he gets right on the wheel. We're not picking on him here, folks. We're just pointing out where, and I'm agreeing with Adam totally, that there is an opportunity for him maybe to learn here. Maybe this is the learning he's going to do, and we're in we should be talking about a 20-year-old learning, Adam, shouldn't we? You know, in years gone by, of course, that's the only reason a 20-year-old would be here, to learn. He wouldn't be here to win. Problem is, we're in a different era right now, and with the likes of him coming through, there's understandable maybe a bit of criticism about the way that he's riding. I would agree with you.
I mean, it's healthy criticism. I think that the kid is brilliant from what I've seen of him so far. Absolutely brilliant. Lovely to watch him. Looks great on a bike. Looks confident on a bike, and a pleasure to watch. And it's been a long time since I've seen anyone win a stage in the fashion that he did. So I'm all for the way he rides. And he does have learning to do, of course he does, but like I said before, it's not just him. We're not singling him out. It's a lot of riders within that peloton as well. He wasn't the only one on the right-hand side of the road. Owain Doull was on the right-hand side of the road, moving up at that huge point with a wide road, because that's the point to do it. You have to notice one thing with Del Toro: as he was moving up, he lost the wheel in front of him and he started backing off, so other riders came round him. So although we're criticising him for Filippo Ganna dropped again after getting back on, Del Toro there in that instance, he started to drop off the power a little bit, so he's not going full gas just trying to hold on to whoever's on the left him on the peloton and match them. He's going, I'm in the wind, I'm slowing down a little bit, I'll let other riders come past me and get on their wheel. So he knows what he's doing. It's just the mistakes that he's making along the way. Yes, I'm on the wrong side of the road and now I'm in the wind, so I'm going to back off. That's clever riding. But why is he in that place in the first place? Why is his team not with him?
Ben Swift is on the front now, third in this race on GC back in 2019, and the winner of 2 stages in brilliant form that year. 2019, 2011 even, long way back. 2011, brilliant year, third place and 2 stage wins, and now he's using all that experience on the front, just laying it down for Ineos Grenadiers. Still such a vital part of that team, Ben Swift. And right at the back, of course, Jonathan Narvaez, last man of his team while they protect him. The 3rd place rider on general classification. Inside 10k to go now. These are the last 10k of the 24th edition of the Santos Tour Down Under. This is the last, well, under half a lap now. Excuse me, rounding in on Mount Lofty for the final time. The blue jersey is going to make it to the base of Mount Lofty for the final time, and he has won that jersey. He's just got to get to the finish to confirm that. Sam Welsford, triple stage winner, loved by the crowds, the Australian, and he's had a great week, and he's riding well at the end of it as well. Stevie Williams right in the middle. Has he got teammates? He's got a couple of teammates alongside him there. And being drawn up to the front as well, by the looks of it, by George Bennett.
Caleb Ewan moving up on the right-hand side, just in front of Chris Harper, bringing Chris Harper up. We saw what Harper did yesterday for Simon Yates. Good legs. They'll no doubt want to push on up here now, start to make it hard as early as they can for the likes of Simon, for the likes of Harper, to give them the best chance possible to try and gain back those 13 seconds.
Simon Yates with the number 12 on his back. Reminder, he won this stage 1 year ago on Mount Lofty when they went up it 4 times. So he, by his own admission, said it would have been a bit harder last year with the 4 ascents of Mount Lofty, but we know how quick he can be. Tried it yesterday. People commenting that maybe Luke Plapp not being there, meaning it wasn't quite as hard as it could be for Simon Yates, and he likes it hard from quite a long way out. So his team looking to try and lift things. There he is with the number 12 on his back. Julian Alaphilippe with the number 31 on his back, alongside him in the blue and white of Soudal Quickstep. We're starting very much now just to focus on the front end of this group, because the catch is seemingly imminent. However, we're rolling into the lower slopes of Mount Lofty itself. There's 8.3k to go, and our breakaway of 7 is still clear with 17 seconds, as you can see. They're not caught just yet.
Not yet, but not long, I don't think.
So after all of our chat about the permutations of the best placed riders in here, Morgado goes again. It's looking like we're going to be treated to the kind of finale that lots of people would have wanted today. A clean fight, a bare knuckle fight for their general classification and that orange jersey. Will it come down? That's what I'm pondering. The wonderful thought that it might still come down to some kind of head-to-head battle between Stevie Williams and Oscar Onley, who are still locked together on time, Adam. There's a lot of players in play there, and they might not necessarily be at play in the general classification either. There could be riders we've not even mentioned yet who fancy their legs on a day like this. Caleb Ewan is done and off the back.
There certainly is, Jez. There's a lot of riders in here that will try for the stage win. This is their last chance, and Caleb Ewan is a good example of a team which will want to do so. Simon Yates, is he concentrated on getting the overall, or is he concentrated on getting the stage win? Maybe both go hand in hand, but that is not what
I'm
we
not
want to
sure
see.
Where that's happened. Adam, we're going to look down just carefully to see who's in there. Gilgeldus is going off the front as well. Alessandro Covi is down in that, as is Clément Berthet, who'd been riding well this week for Decathlon Age Desert. There's definitely 3 or 4 of the Intermarché Wanty riders involved in that. Here it is. Right
towards the front as well, about 15-20 riders back. A lot of the UAE riders down. Just looking, the UAE rider just jumping back on his bike there. Who's that? Number 5 that's just jumped up. That's Diego Lisi, experienced rider.
Oof, dearie me. Right in amongst it here as well. Yeah, Covey was there, Ulisi was there. There's a twisted bike there as well. That's one of the Cofidis team that's come off, because that's a black look with Corima wheels. And meanwhile up front, these guys are trying to salvage something from this. We're still seeing 29 seconds. That crash might have just slowed things down in the chase a bit, Adam, would it? If they're not sure who's involved in it. A bit of looking around, no?
No, for sure not. At this point in the race, 6.9k to go, still not caught that breakaway. I would say not. 100% not. The riders on the front with the teammates around them, they're not going to back off and double check. They'll keep on going. As long as they've seen their team leader there, the man that they're focused on for the stage overall or just stage victory, they will keep going.
Stefan de Bod on the front, Frank Bonamore now coming through. Hats off to these guys. They've been a really strong breakaway today. I'll give you the names again. This is Frank Bonamore rolling through. Antonio Morgado just about to. There's the Oka leader down there, the Welshman Stevie Williams. After his second place finish yesterday, he's ready. It's all going to kick off in the next 7 kilometres. They still got to catch the breakaway just yet. Now the yellow jerseys come to the front, and for the first time now we see Sam Welsford off the back. What a great week he's had. He'll enjoy the run-in now to the finish. The crowd will absolutely love getting to see him clearly by himself, I'm certain too. Morgado still it is who's persisting at the front end, desperately trying to hang on here if he can, and Jacopo Mosca just struggling a bit at the back. Hats off to Ballasted. He's still in there, Adam. And Geschke's gone. Simon Geschke's gone, but Ballestead is still swinging in there.
He is, yeah. He's doing a stellar ride, considering he's been, I think it was 2 laps out. He started to sit on the back, miss a few turns, so he's obviously not feeling great, or he's just been playing an incredible buff.
He's going to win the stage. He's going to win the stage now, isn't he? I tell you what, if he did, that would be rather clever.
Would be, yeah. Would be. There'd be a lot of angry people in the break, but hey.
That's a World Tour stage race. Everything up for grabs. The catch is seemingly imminent, but of course as soon as they overlap, if they catch the remnants of this breakaway, surely the attacks will come, unless a couple of teams can combine in leading into that final categorised part of Mount Lofty. Everything up for grab. 10s, 6 and 4. Bonus seconds available on the line. Somehow we've got to split Stevie Williams and Oscar Onley, who sit equal on time in the general classification. And I guess just as importantly at the moment, there is a stage to be won. Riders in there that we've probably not even mentioned just yet. Where's Julian Alaphilippe? In actual fact, I can see Casper Pedersen, his teammate, moving up and looking for him. They've got a teammate in the break, but that breakaway now is just, I think that, no, I thought they were sitting up. Stefan de Bod goes again, the South African, but this is the fact that they've paused and freewheeled for that amount of time says they are doomed now with 5.5k to go. Surely, Adam.
Yep, but there is a most aggressive rider still to play for, so why not give it a go? Stage victory looks like it's out the window for these guys, but at least try and get yourselves on the podium. De Bod, he was one of the first riders to go in that breakaway, and he's one of the last to attack.
Yeah, I think Morgado's up for that most aggressive rider. Oh, sorry, in this race they call it the most competitive rider, don't they? Which is nice and calm. He's attacked a fair few times, Morgado. Somewhere between Morgado and de Bod maybe for that award. Let's see. Here's the capture right in front of us, just going over the bridge, a handful of seconds and exactly 5,000 metres to go. About 1,500 metres of those is really the proper climb of Mount Lofty. This is going to be it. The stage is coming down to this, but the general classification has to be sorted here too. How close will it be, though, come the finish? Who's yet to still open up there? Desperately hanging on, it's Maurice Ballestead, fully unzipped in his skin suit there.
I love how they were shaking hands a minute ago, and now they're like, oh no, back on, come on lads.
Good for them. And they've entertained us today. It's been a far better breakaway today than we've had in the race so far. Right, there's the Oka Leaders jersey. Stevie Williams being brought up to the front by his team, and this is a great display by Israel Premier Tech, who looked to defend the lead in this race.
Yeah, that was Derek G on the front there, followed by Simon Clark. As we have the young rider Jill Gelders going on the attack with Morgado still on the wheel. It just looks like two of them now. The other riders just sitting up in the background. 4.5k's to go. Giving it everything they've got just to hang on. Morgado over the top again. He's relentless.
He is. Yeah, he's been impressive today. He's never looked particularly snappy, but he just keeps going. This young Portuguese rider. Good ride by him today. Good ride by both the young riders. Yep, de Bod's gone again, but the catch is happening. They're actually getting caught as they attack as well. You're right, there was a lot of handshaking and celebration about 2k ago, and now they're back at it again. Ineos Grenadiers lead up to the back. 2 yellow jerseys there, protecting Bart Lehman. And we're reminded, as the catch happens, of what the general classification is. Look at that. Narvaez 5 down, Isaac Del Toro 5 seconds down, and Alaphilippe still there in the top 5, but 13 seconds off it. He'd have to do something remarkably special to take the general classification. But could he take the stage? And who else is at play in there, Adam, that we've not mentioned so far? Movistar again moving up. My suspicion is that they've got someone quick, maybe Serrano or Ruben Guerrero, maybe, who's capable of finishing off in here. They're serious about it, the boys in blue.
They are serious. Last stage of the Tour Down Under, last chance for a stage win in this race. They need to be serious about a little bit of a break in the climb here just before it clicks up to the finish. So this is, I would say, the last chance to recover. But the way these riders are going now, there is no chance at all. And it is a large group still. And with 3.7k's to go, there is a lot of riders in there, and a lot of riders a long way back if they're going for the stage win. But as you said, Movistar on our right-hand side moving up. Visma Lease Bike, sorry, are moving up.
Easily done. This is a lead out into a sprint finish, Adam. That's what we're going to see, isn't it? It's not quite a hard enough climb to crack things. The speed's going to be really high, but we could see a lot of riders going into that little dip to the finish at this rate. It's not going to get too much harder. I mean, it keeps going, but this is.
It's going to get harder. The likes of Simon Yates, he's got to attack. The road really ramps up. You've got Ulisi, he was in that crash. He's moved up on the right-hand side now, and he's got Del Toro on his wheels. There's Del Toro. Don't want to follow you anymore, mate. I'm all good. I'm here. There he is on the left-hand side, freewheeling. Look, he does know what he's doing. Narvaez right there at the front as well. We know how fast both of those riders are. Just looking for Stevie Williams. There he is, the Oka leader jersey.
Georg Zimmermann's there too as well for Intermarché Wanty. I'm just going to pick him out because he's a fast finisher. He actually rode really well yesterday on Old Willunga Hill as well. He's in the yellow and white, so we'll just keep an eye on Georg Zimmermann. Might be a reasonable pick for a finish like this. Don't count him as one of the world's best climbers at all, but he's gutsy and he's got a nice snap to him. He's there in yellow and white.
Tarling on the front with 1.5k to go. Then you've got De Plus just sat behind him. That's one of the Israel apprentices. I think that's Simon Clark that's just moved out of the way now. So he's done his job for today. Yep, it's Lawrence de Bus, then Narvaez. I'm just looking back, there's not many. George Bennett from Israel still there. Del Toro just sat behind him. No Alaphilippe as of yet. No Stevie Williams. Jack Haig's a little bit further back. Now one of the Chris Harper in the background seems to be moving up. Yep. Can't see Simon Yates either. There's Stevie Williams moving up on the back of the Movistar riders.
Where's Oscar Onley in amongst all this as well? There's Del Toro. Del Toro's well up for this. Look, Del Toro is right on the wheel of Narvaez in the white jersey on the left-hand side, just looking for Oscar Onley. There he is in the white jersey, left-hand side, moving up alongside Bart Lemon as well. Things are stringing down at the front, and we're getting the riders we expect to see involved in this. Archie Ryan sitting on the back wheel of Stevie Williams, who wears the Oka leaders jersey. Harper picking things up. Now here we go. This is getting to the very pointy end. Final 2 kilometres. Chris Harper on the front.
Where is Simon Yates? I'm expecting an attack from behind with speed to fly past these riders, not give them enough chance to react, make it hard, and then fly past them with enough speed, because he is not within that top 10, 15 at the minute, and I can see with Harper doing this amount of damage, you'd think that he must be feeling good if he sent Harper to the front to do something. Still, there he is on the right-hand side.
Yeah,
right there he is. You can just see him on the drops.
Yeah. Skin suit unzipped, on the drops and ready. Let's watch Yates. He was the winner on this stage 1 year ago. He's got to try something. The British rider, he's on the drops, but he's so often on the drops, and the Harper is too. Here we go. Isaac Del Toro Romero, stage 2 winner and former leader of this race, is going for it. We wondered whether we'd see him show his climbing talent. This is the first time we've seen it in the race so far. Just winding it up on the front. He looks good, Adam, doesn't he?
He looks very good indeed. Onley's in the background. He's had to sit down. Stevie Williams coming past him. There's Onley going. So Stevie Williams got that gap on him now. Can Stevie get back up to these riders? That's Narvaez onto the wheel of Del Toro now. Stevie Williams coming across with great pace. I think that is the Bart Lehman.
Yep.
Just coming across with him, but Stevie Williams, no problem at all to close that gap. He's managed to close it, but what effort's it taken out of him?
Where's Onley?
Onley's dropped. He's in the background there. He's looking for assistance, looking for help. These riders can't afford to look around at each other. Yes, they don't want to take Stevie Williams, but they're all three of them right now on the podium, even with the bonus seconds if they can cross it. Another attack.
Someone needs to attack there. That is Lawrence Pithy. This is Lawrence Pithy who's come across. This is an incredible ride by the Kiwi. He's ridden across to them, and they might let him go at this moment. I'm absolutely certain this is Lawrence Pithy. It is the Kiwi fast man who'd been involved as a sprinter earlier in the race. He's climbing absolutely brilliantly here. What a ride by him. I tell you what, if the GC riders start looking at each other, I think this is Lawrence Pithy gone. That's a massive gap already, Adam.
It's a big old gap already, but these guys are just playing at the minute. They need to start getting on it. Del Toro's shown his cards, so they'll look at him to pile on pressure. Stevie Williams doesn't necessarily have to do anything apart from beat these guys in a sprint. If he opens up too early, he runs the risk of getting rolled by these guys in a sprint, which will then take the race lead away from him. Del Toro going again now, putting a hard dig in. Narvaez moving onto that wheel. Stevie Williams just fighting, rocking, rolling a bit. We know how fast he is, but Del Toro, this is a long effort, about 700 metres to go. Sits back down. Narvaez rocking and rolling, staring at that back wheel. Stevie Williams, little glance over the shoulder. For me, Stevie is looking good here. Bigger gears, he's in the drops, the other two on the tops of the handlebars. Stevie's ready for an acceleration, ready to hit them hard.
Isaac Del Toro Romero, the young Mexican, has teased out the very best riders in the race. Jonathan Narvaez still, though, yet to burn any matches, just following the wheels. I still have him down as the fastest finisher in here, Adam, sitting second wheel for Ineos Grenadiers. Some muppet running down the middle of the road in the way as well. Hopefully no one will hit him. But look at this, they backed off again. Bart Lemon's enough to hook up. We're getting exceptionally close to the finish line too. Romero looking over at Narvaez. I think Narvaez is a danger man. Don't forget there are 10, 6 and 4. Stevie Williams in the Oka Leaders jersey goes. Can Narvaez get on his wheel? No! I think we're going to see the race winner take the final stage. The Welshman's going to do it, Stevie Williams, or is he? Narvaez is on him. Here comes Del Toro, and he's done it. Stevie Williams wins the Santos Tour Down Under, and he's put any doubt about time gaps, countbacks, forget it. He's the winner on the day and in the race.
I said 200 metres to go. Stevie Williams is looking good, cool, calm and collective. Little look around just to take where his competitors were. He was confident. He knew what he had to do. He knew those riders in front of him. They had to take the fight to him. Stevie, cool as you like. Absolutely cool as a cucumber, and putting two very fast men away. We saw what he did on stage 2. 3rd place in a bunch sprint with some very, very fast riders in there, and he's just shown his class. Brilliant ride by him, calculated ride and very well ridden.
Brilliant. We heard yesterday how his team call him Stevie Wonder. Well, he's done the wonders for them today and yesterday, it has to be said, with his brilliant ride yesterday. Nobody can argue with that. The dominant rider of the race and taking the final stage too. Brilliantly ridden. So well measured, and we have to put a lot of that down to Isaac Del Toro Romero as well, Adam, don't we? The way he rode, teased out the very best riders too.
I mean, yeah, Del Toro really wanted to get that. He was absolutely smashing it. James Knox, a good friend of Stevie Williams, coming up, congratulating. But yeah, Del Toro there, he opened it up, you know, wasn't afraid to lose that race as such, to try and win it, which is always great to see. Narvaez just hanging on, doing what he could. It was a brilliant final. We didn't see any of the Simon Yates attack. We thought we really wanted to get that. He was absolutely smashing it. James by Stevie Williams, friend of Stevie Williams, congratulating. But yeah, Del Toro there, he opened it up, you know, wasn't afraid to lose that race as such, to try and win it, which is always great to see. Narvaez just hanging on, doing what he could. It was a brilliant final. We didn't see any of the Simon Yates attack. We thought we'd get there, but yeah, what a finish by Stevie Williams. You've got to take your hat off to this man.
We might have a word with Nick Schultz. Nick, you've just seen your teammate win. He's in celebration mode. Huge.
Corbin to try and sort of get a head start for Wollonga. It's amazing. Unfortunately, he fell ill. You know, and then it was all hands on deck for Stevie, and you know, I think everyone saw he stepped up.